What's going on, everyone? This is Michael Stewart-Isaacs.
And this is Shemekka.
And this is your next edition of
Sunday
Stacks.
Stacks.
Yes, Sunday Stacks. Back again. Excited to always give you what you've been waiting for week after week. We encourage you to make sure it all stacks up. That every effort, every talent, everything you've planted, the seeds you're growing, everything that you're maturing in your life continues to stack up. And that's what we're here to do at Sunday Stacks. And we always want to thank our partners at Alive Podcast Network for working with Sunday Stacks to continue to bring us to the people. You can find us on Alive, or you can also find us on YouTube. We make sure that myself and my beautiful wife here, Shemekka Ebony, tell the world how we continue to stack it up as a family, a community, and a company. And we make sure that you all understand how you too can reflect every week and see to make sure that everything you're doing has a purpose and really goes where you want it to grow to. Shemekka, as we always start off each episode, we like to check in to see how's it stacking. So how's it stacking for you today?
Well, this week has been adventurous and filled with a lot of great activities. We had an event we took the Brilliant Bunch to this week, which was at a local library to hear the Story Yeller, which is a hip-hop story time that happened to fall on Juneteenth this year. It was really fun to just see the kids interacting and engaging, dancing around, enjoying to hear about stories, incorporating it with music, a great learning experience. And Max volunteered to be in one of the skits, so it's pretty cool to see him blossoming with his character and personality as the newly turned 4-year-old of the Brilliant Bunch.
Yes, we love our Brilliant Bunch. Shout out to Max and She and all of our children that are out there doing amazing things. We're just grateful as family to continue to just empower and encourage our kids in their development, and seeing them as young leaders continue just to be willing to be the volunteers, being willing to put themselves out there and really mature their ability to stand in front of people and really do these things early. We encourage that really in all our children.
Absolutely.
Just to be brave enough, even when it's difficult, even when you got your heart pumping and you're nervous what other people may think about you, we still encourage them to put themselves out there so they continue to grow and mature in that space where one day it will never be a nerve for them and then becomes a reflex, and their ability to do public speaking or, be able to present things to the world. We definitely want to continue to nurture that early and not wait. And that's something we encourage in our own family, as well as we encourage you all, the listeners, to not wait for your children to get older or be teenagers or be ready to go to college before you start giving them skill sets that they really need to become professionals one day in the world, because it sometimes can be too late if you wait too long and allow for the world to kind of penetrate their minds with ideas. So we encourage our kids through library activities as well as participation when we do go to places so they can continue to grow and become the fullness of what they're meant to be.
Yeah, and I think also that ties into this week when we think about how we encourage our youth to explore what their passion and interests are. Not only did they see a person leading this group, they saw an entrepreneur. They saw an entrepreneur in action that has contracted with their local government to offer these programs in the library. So that led to another thing that we did this week, which was the NCIDEA entrepreneur ecosystem in-person meeting that we have once a year when business support organizations for entrepreneurs across the state get together. And we always have fun when we get into these environments because it's a great networking experience. We see old friends, we meet new ones. And this time we actually met another partner couple that's Genesis Block out of Wilmington, North Carolina, shouting them out. It was so good to see another partnership that is leading in business together.
That's beautiful. Definitely, we want to continue to just blossom all these relationships and continue to foster what we want to show, how the community should reflect opportunities, as well as encouraging one another to grow in each level.
Yeah. So how's it stacking for you this week?
Well, it has definitely been a great week, just been an empowerment week, really just pushing hard to continue to grow as a leader, as a speaker. You know, when you're a leader of leaders, you have to make sure that you're nourishing yourself with good intake and just really learning to push for discipline and really be strong. For myself this week, just really trying to get my strength physically together has been something I'm growing to so we can have the endurance. You know, we got that I Am Brilliant tour out there for anybody out there checking it out. I Am Brilliant tour.
Yep.
It's summertime.
Baltimore next week.
Yep, it's summertime. You know, we're out here. We're really pushing. So, you know, shout out to all the cities we're about to be touching down in the next few weeks. We're just really grateful for all the opportunities that we're just planning out. So a lot of this week has been planning and preparedness. Of course, we did do this event this week with our business leaders in our Triangle community and really just feeling empowered. Shout out to NC Idea, Farad Ali, so many great leaders that come from our communities. Oh my goodness, the Roar. Shout out Dion.
Winston.
I mean, we have so many people that we just are really grateful for in our ecosystem, and just working with them to say, hey, how do we take the secret sauce that's here in our beautiful state of North Carolina? I love NC, and really start to sprinkle that across the country. So Chicago, Los Angeles, the Miamis, you know, the St. Louis's, wherever we go, we can continue to bring this kindness, this evangelical spirit to the world and really let them know that goodness is a real thing and it's not siloed. And, you know, we're really working hard with what we build with I Am Brilliant. So Sunday Stacks is just the tuning fork for all of that, for us to continue to just show the work we do as professionals, as leaders and speakers in the world. So it's been a great week of stacking up, closing deals. Yes, getting deals closed and aligned, planning things early, right? You can't plan a deal, you know, one day and it's done, right? Some people might have that relationship status, but sometimes it takes time. So, you know, just perfecting how to nurture relationships and really discipline myself and being consistent, being accountable. Shout out to my accountable people out there. You know, that's a scary word for some people because it sounds like responsibility. But yeah, this week has been really deep. I mean, I'm talking about that from the FCC, right? Family, had to hold myself accountable to my kids and giving them time and what they needed. My wife, making sure she's taken care of and what she needs. And she's, you know, we all out here, you know, it's allergy seasons, all kind of craziness going on. So we got to make sure we take care of each other. We feed each other right, spending time in quality ways to really grow. And then just community, same thing, stepping out there, doing good things for the community, being a giver. You know, that's kind of been the spirit that I've been meditating and just really getting myself together this week. So really grateful. So it's been stacking really well for me, and company wise, like I said, we're lining up everything for the tour and all the projects that we're working on, all the companies we support out there. We're just developing business. So just grateful for the opportunities God's blessing us with.
That is so good. I love it. Thank you for lifting that up. It's a powerful opportunity, and I share this all the time when we do stuff, because we don't just do stuff to do stuff. We're drawn to something because we see connections, but more so, if we show up, we show up with expectations. We expect to meet something, learn something, be exposed to something that helps us grow, or release something in the atmosphere that shifts and helps others grow. So I would challenge and encourage you all too, as you all are looking into what you're doing next week. Make sure you're setting expectations and intentions around the things that you're finding yourself busy with, because it's important that you draw those things and let those things find you, because you're actually looking for those opportunities.
I love how you stated that. And I think, you know, that's the key to it. Is just, I call it gratitude, right? Let's keep it simple, right? But as we look to take that beautiful point you're breaking it down to, let's get into our main topic of today. So Sunday Stacks, of course, we always have to have a main topic that kind of round robins all the different aspects of what we've been through. And this week's topic is very important to my heart, and I want to break it down as your pastor here at Sunday Stacks. But we call this particular topic, patience is the ultimate self-care. Let's start over again. Patience is the ultimate self-care. So this is a perspective that I want to bring to the audience today in reflecting on this elusive thing called patience, right? You could talk to your grandmother and she'll tell you, baby, you just got to have a little patience for this situation or this person or these things going on in your life. You hear it in movies. You see it in the old wise people. You know, just everything kind of comes back to this concept called patience. But then we also try to find our personal time while being in a world where we're seeking attention. And we call these moments trying to find self-care, right? But in this notion of patience being the ultimate self-care, we really have to reflect that once we learn to have this calmness within our spirit, called patience, this not anticipating anything, this anti-anxiety type of cure, that patience provides us to not be rushing towards anything, being over expecting of anything, but yet accepting of things when they come your way and not allowing it to ever truly bring you to a still or make you feel over encouraged, right? It's this patience that you have at all times for everything that's meant for you. And I think when we look at the word self-care, we have to start saying to ourselves, hey, sometimes I create my own anxieties that even lead towards the health challenges that I'm seeing or the overwhelm that I'm feeling. And sometimes it's all because I want to rush things to its finish line faster than the universe, the nature of what I'm doing takes the time. And so as I go into the wisdom of the elders and they constantly shower me with this concept of patience, I leave you with the perspective. Is patience the ultimate self-care? So, Shemekka, do you have any ideas or thoughts for, yourself or the audience could reflect on in this concept?
Well, I look at this through the lens that so many of us struggle with what patience looks like in practice. So I would imagine people may hear this and feel, man, I have totally failed at this. But I want to speak to you and just share with you that when we think about what perfect love feels like and what love is patient, love is kind. Well, that love has some wrappings of grace around it. So when we think about that through the lens of self-care, if we're caring for ourselves in a way that we love us, the way that God intended us to love ourselves, it helps us be able to show up better for other people in our family, community, and company, because we're taking that moment to really minister to ourselves. And so though we feel like patience may seem unattainable, if we break down what's impatient, then we know that patience has love wrapped in there. And that's something that we all want and we want to feel connected to. So why not be intentional? Our impatience is our what I like to call idolatry of putting our timetable and our expectations above what God has ordained for us. And it does give negative energy of being frustrated because things aren't working out. It just may not be the season. So this is a time to initiate this self-care that you speak of by loving ourselves and knowing that if love is patient, then I know that the more I love myself in my self-care journey, the more patience I'll grow into for myself, and that'll filter over to others in our family, communities, and companies.
I love how you broke that down. I think loving yourself, you took it to another dynamic of the beauty of patience, and that's from the word. And I think what we're looking for is a way to truly, truly love ourselves, not just loving alone, but liking ourselves while loving ourselves and being able to truly give ourselves what we need from our health as well as our perspective of growth that continues to nourish us. I look at even when I look at reflection of this week, and we were talking and how we were stacking some of the ecosystem building we were doing with different business leaders and people who are on their own journey of helping others. And when you look at that space, when I look and reflect, we've been doing this for 9 years. 9 years Sunday Stacks, 9 years I Am Brilliant. This year we're building. And when I look at the reflection of what that means in regards to patience, is that I've seen all these leaders and different people at one state throughout that journey over the last 9 years. And now with patience, we're all at a different state of patience that led us to a place of correction where we're all really understanding we're doing the same things, but we really have to learn how to work together in a collaborative fashion and be more resourceful. Mm-hmm. And I think most people have that mindset that we need to collaborate and do things, but sometimes
I know what it looks like or feels like.
Exactly. So the patience of giving it time, yet knowing that that's the utmost attention that we all are. And again, let me say that's not attention, intention. that we're looking to give to the situation. And sometimes even attention, right? I think, part of that is something that has to be intentional and given attention that we need to reflect on, being patient with ourselves as well as our communities around us, our families, our children, so many different parents that are out there listening to our program.
Patience and next.
Oh my goodness, right? Another level, right? Even trying to be a podcaster and get a show done is not always easy. I have to get my children settled. My wife and I, we do this together. So we are really intentional in how we want to bring a good program, but we're honest as well, too, that we too, as a family, community, and company, there's always an improvement that needs to come, but we should never be jarred up because it's not flowing like we see it sometimes in our head or what's most convenient to us, because that seems to be the norm, that things won't ever flow like you see it in your head or be convenient to you. That tends to be what wisdom is trying to tell us. So thus, patience is just a virtue to adapt sooner than later so you can have a greater peace of mind, which I believe in that is the self-care that we're all really looking for.
That's so good. That's so good. Thank you for lifting that. It's really powerful.
Thank you. So as we take this mindset of patience, we're going to bring to you all our favorite segment of every week. We call the Whiz of the Week. Whiz of the Week. Yes, Whiz of the Week. We are here once again to talk about what a roller coaster week. And can we not really be clear on what the whiz was this week? Because it was the week of Juneteenth. Yes, Juneteenth. Juneteenth celebrations everywhere. I've gotten so many invites and Juneteenth messages that I've never seen before, but I'm grateful.
Why is it a celebration, Michael?
Juneteenth is a holiday that...
Why is it Happy Juneteenth? Why are people texting Happy Juneteenth?
I think it's a holiday that we get a chance as a community, as Americans, let alone African Americans, Black Americans. We get to choose a holiday that was crafted, unfortunately, because of this recognition of this proclamation that happened in Galveston, Texas, to tell people who were enslaved that they're no longer slaves, but it somehow arrived a little bit later. But then there was a great jubilee of excitement that amongst the people, which then led to people within Texas celebrating this over time. And then I guess because they celebrated it there, it kind of spread. And it's no different than Kwanzaa and other types of things that started a long time. So people have not just started celebrating Juneteenth. They've been celebrating it for a while in these communities. And now because of, I guess, this awakening, because I don't like to use the word woke. They've kind of bastardized that concept. This awakening of people, they're finding reasons to celebrate. Because I just think from a diaspora standpoint, being African descent, I know we just love to celebrate. So give us a reason. It don't take much for us to find a reason to celebrate. So I think ultimately Juneteenth was a reflection of our historic truth of it, the amplification, right? The George.
But now all people are forced to celebrate it.
You don't have to be forced to. I think everyone is looking at it from a different perspective of, choice. And I think we get to make Juneteenth what we want to, because it's still something that is growing in our imagination on what it's supposed to be. But I see it kind of like Black Panther, when people went to the movies in their African garb. Juneteenth is another holiday to dress like with your best African clothes and, your best celebrations of, civil rights leaders and whomever you feel that has empowered your freedoms. I think that's what this is about, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think we as Black people should stop celebrating 4th of July because of Juneteenth. And I don't think white people shouldn't be able to celebrate Juneteenth if they're acknowledging the atrocities of enslaving people.
That if is big.
That's a big if.
Care. Their job just told them they could get off. So.
And if that's what they want to enjoy too, then hey, it's the most American thing that we can do towards equity.
Imagine being a non-Black person who now sees this federally backed holiday that you get off, that you didn't know about, you didn't grow up knowing about, but now there's this expectation or feeling that you have to commemorate or celebrate, or in what you just shared, honor the liberation of Black slaves. Like June 19th was something else for those people just 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And there hasn't been any little to no education about what Juneteenth is, the history and understanding. So they're piecemealing this, putting it together. They're not asking questions. They're not leaning into inquiry. They're told that now it's a federal holiday, it's a paid day off. And I don't know what they're doing. I have no expectations of non-black people or black people to do something special on this day. You got it off. What are you going to do to make a difference? What are you going to do to improve yourself, your life, the lives of your family, community, and company? That's what's important. Whether it's not necessarily, I can't judge how people choose to spend the day. I just can't say, it's nothing no bone in my body that wants to celebrate and be joyful about those that are enslaved finding out that they're free late.
Well, I say you have the freedom here in America to feel however you want to feel.
As I got Texas blood.
There you go.
There's nothing happy about being late to the party. Ain't nothing happy except for when you can make a good entrance.
And that's we're going to bring to who has celebrated Juneteenth at the next level, and that is Mr. Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar had a kickoff of Juneteenth event in Los Angeles, and it was a bash of bash. He brought out all the Los Angeles young legends as well as the old school legends that we all know, like Dr. Dre. People coming out and really just celebrating the West Coast flavor, the energy, and of course, this man played this song that went from a beef rap to a hit song called "Not Like Us." "Not Like Us" played about 3 to 5 times. I mean, they played it back to back, had the stadium roaring, but he took Juneteenth to the next level. A lot of people called us a pop-up, a pop-out, kind of concert, and he really just went off and performed all these songs that have just been creating all this controversy, but also bringing back the real spirit, I would say, of hip-hop, because hip-hop is competitive, hip-hop is battley, hip-hop is pushing. And one thing, this being a beef with him and Drake, this ain't quite an East Coast, West Coast. I don't know if we're going at Canada now, but at the same time, it was definitely a dope concert. I definitely think, it's going to go down as a legendary experience for the West Coast, as well as people who've seen it virally online. Amazon, shout out Amazon, put it on their Prime platform for those who might want to see the full concert. But of course, you've probably seen the clip. If you were part of the culture, you've seen some clips all over the place, because not like us, they not like us, they not like us. So on another note as well, too, now outside of just the week of Juneteenth, we still got some more whizzes this week. And one of the things that might have went over your head, but it was the ABC Nightline story in regards to black men and the ballot. It was a whole special presentation about them breaking down whether or not black men, where we want to vote, where our allegiance. I say we because I'm a black man, but I'm a man of God, but I have a perspective in regards to this thing called politics. I understand the history. I understand whether Joe Biden or Donald Trump. I myself I'm not really the one who's going to choose them. It's going to be someone who's a delegate in my state who's going to give them points and assign points to them based on who they believe within the grouping of the state.
Regardless
of our vote. So really what's important, I scream to those black men out there, is not to go to the polls because of Donald Trump or Joe Biden. Go to the polls because of those judges that you get to select. And you got to research these people out here, black men. We can't wait to the last week, the last day, the last moment to decide we're going to vote and then try to do a quick Google search. And I'm, victim of that. That's why I'm so detailed. But at the same time, we got to get a little bit more educated with this time we have. And I mean, the time we have that we got to focus and get more educated about all the different, seats of senators and, Congress people, just so many different people that we have an opportunity to have the power to get to the ballot and choose who those people are, because that is so much more important. District attorneys, sheriffs in your towns and counties, like all these things that show up at the ballot. You got to know what jurisdiction or district you're in, what county you're in, what lines, what city lines, all these details. But it's no different than us coming here and spending time learning every lyric from a Kendrick Lamar Drake battle and debating whether or not one of them is the best. Like, you can do that. You can figure out how to choose somebody who's going to make a difference to the next 2, 4 years, 6 years of your life as a citizen of these United States and whatever state you're from. And we really want to encourage you, black men and women, to make sound choices, not because of Republican or Democrat or any of the above. We need to make sound choices for our communities, and particularly our families, communities, and companies. That FCC motto, Sunday Stacks. So with that being said, we got to check all this stuff because last I checked, it is a white boy summer. Yes, white boy summer. I don't know how we got here, y'all, but it is a white boy summer. So with all of this going on Juneteenth this week, and we were discussing how free someone can feel between Juneteenth and 4th of July, because this is America. They had a Trump rally and a pro-Trump rally with a lot of different, pro-Republican constituents. One group decided to come and present a new slogan called White Boy Summer. And I mean it. That slogan did not flag and everything, got people outraged. So we go back to this mindset thing, right? When we talk about outrage, right? So we have Hot Girl Summer, something Meg Thee Stallion does, right? We the owners of stuff like Black Girl Magic Market and all these different things, right? We know how we sometimes utilize a tagging to say who you want to be your customer base or who you're serving and what you do. For me personally, as a tax-paying citizen who is building strong businesses and knows my audience, these things don't offend me. And I understand that sometimes politically we need to be offended to think that's why we need to vote. But I want us to take away that tactic and stop letting that be a low bar and really start to understand that something like White Boy Summer doesn't offend me. It doesn't offend me. I know it may offend you, but it doesn't harken back to somebody stringing me up or making me feel like they're going to come attack me. None of that. And we don't have to make it that. I know it's easy to sensationalize these things, but when you give it power, especially in this day and age with technology, you're doing too much when you can give so many other positive things the power that it deserves. So yes, Megan Thee Stallion and her team gonna have their hot girl summers. Let these white boys have their hot white boy summer, right? And it's gonna definitely start this week because just like we talking about this election stuff, Trump and Biden gonna be doing a debate later on this week. It's coming up.
Did you know that Beverly Bond had canceled Black Girl Rock convening because of this debate?
Wow. So look at that. So we have so much this white boy summer kicking off with this debate between the two ultimate white boys in the world. You know what I'm saying? As they call Sleepy Joe versus two-turned Trump. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to see who really gets it done. Like I said, I'm not taking any choices in this battle. I want to see what they have to say.
Word on the street is Trump gonna back out and he's not gonna do it.
Well, we'll see what happens. So, as so many things are going on, of course, we love talking with you, the audience. We could do this forever. The I Am Brilliant tour is going to continue to grow. We have some opportunities this week. We're going to be in Baltimore, so we'll give some of that update next week. You'll learn about how our Baltimore tour date and tour stop went. And just always check all the platforms. I Am Brilliant, you are too, the letter U, the letter R, the number 2 on Instagram, Facebook, find us, and also on YouTube. And then also Sunday Stacks. Like and subscribe. If you're listening here on YouTube, like and subscribe to Sunday Stacks platform and all our other personal platforms, Michael Stewart-Isaacs, Shemekka Ebony. Any housekeeping you want to give us real quick for our partners?
Yes. Welcome to the space. If this is your first time tuning in, we want to bring you something that's going to make you laugh and think and consider how you're going to stack your week. And thanks to Alive Podcast Network, we have a platform in which you can download the Alive Podcast app and listen to us anywhere, as well as find our work on any of our major platforms, not only with Apple Music, but also
Spotify,
other podcast apps that you have. Just look for us, Sunday Stacks.
We love it. So we thank you for your time today. We appreciate us just kind of connecting with you, the audience, and just really growing where we as we always say, to close out each show. I am brilliant and you are too. Thank you for listening to another edition of Sunday Stacks, and we appreciate you. See you next week. Peace.